Welcome everyone to Quest Kids TV. My name is Jason and it's the perfect day for you to be here. You might be asking yourself why. Well, it's because Easter is just a week away and we have a gift for you. Well, we have a gift for you to share with a neighbor, but I'll get to that in a minute. Just as most of our lives have been turned upside down over the past few weeks, in our story today we'll see how Jesus pretty much changed everything when he died on the cross and came back to life. It's like he turned the whole world upside down. And what Jesus did over 2,000 years ago is still flipping people's lives upside down today. Jesus sacrificed himself for you and me. Jesus sacrifices the greatest gift of all. He put his Father and us first. His life is the greatest example of humility. You see, humility is putting others first by giving up what you think you deserve. The good news is at those times that you might be struggling with humility, Jesus can help. God's Word, the Bible, is filled with examples of how Jesus wants us to live. All month long, we're going to be focusing on humility. This month's verse shows us what humility looks like. It's Philippians 2:3, and it says this: "Don't do anything only to get ahead. Don't do it because you are proud. Instead, be humble, value others more than yourself." Having humility or being humble is kind of an upside-down way to live. It's a lot more common for us to put ourselves first. But Jesus came to flip that whole thing on its head. He shows what it looks like to put others first. He came to serve, not to be served. We can live like Jesus today in our own upside-down world. We can put our brother, our sister, parent, neighbor needs before our own. The best way to put others first is to share them the story of Jesus. To help you reach out to others, we have put together some hug bags. Each hug bag comes with a card letting your friend or neighbor know they are not alone. We are here with them. We have also added a few items and an invitation for them to join us online for Easter service. We have also want you to feel free that you can add a gift of your own. I'm adding something special. To find out more about the hug bags, you can go to mynwcc.com/watch. All right, back to our story. Like I was saying earlier, in today's story, we're looking at an event that would change everything. An event that would lead up to the greatest example of humility ever, when Jesus gave his life for us on the cross and rose again. Today we'll see how Jesus spent his last few days before he'd be put on the cross. And now, lights, cameras, action!
The Bible. It's 66 books of history, stories, letters, and poetry that fit together to form God's one big story. The epic adventure of how he created us and loves us so much that he made a way to rescue us. As we travel through the Bible, from Genesis to Revelation, we discover people who met God and found their lives changed forever. And now for an amazing story, inspired by the book of Matthew, chapter 26, verses 36 through 56.
For months, the Jewish religious leaders had been plotting to silence Jesus.
He called us pretenders, snakes!
On the Sunday before Passover, Jesus entered Jerusalem to great cheers from the crowds.
Blessed is the one who comes in the name of the Lord!
But even as the crowd swarmed in to see what Jesus would do and say, one of Jesus' closest followers, Judas, went to the religious leaders with a very sneaky plan.
"What are you willing to give me if I deliver him over to you?"
How about a cool 30 pieces of silver?
Jesus knew these plans, but he also knew that his mission was to face those who hated him and let them take him without defending himself. He prepared his closest friends for this during a Passover meal, and then afterwards led them out of the city toward the Mount of Olives. Judas had already left them.
"In a little while, you will no longer see me. Then after a little while, you will see me. I came from the Father and entered the world. Now I am leaving the world and going back to the Father."
The air cooled as the evening darkened.
"This very night, you will all turn away because of me."
Peter, the most outspoken of Jesus' friends, quickened his step and tightened his hand on the sword he was carrying.
"All the others may turn away because of you, but I never will."
"What I'm about to tell you is true. It will happen tonight. Before the rooster crows, you will say 3 times that you don't know me."
I may have to die with you, but I will never say I don't know you.
Me too. Same.
By the time Jesus and his friends reached the Garden of Gethsemane, they were exhausted.
Sit here while I go over there and pray.
As the other disciples settled in on the cold, rough ground, Jesus took Peter, James, and John along with him to a grove of ancient olive trees. The weight of what was coming pressed down on him.
My soul is very sad. I feel close to death. Stay here. Keep watch with me.
We're here for you.
We got this.
Prayers. The three friends found seats among the knotted tree roots, and Jesus went on a little further. Then suddenly, he fell down on the ground, face first into the dirt. Words poured out from deep inside.
My Father, if it is possible, take this cup of suffering away from me. But let what you want be done, not what I want.
After a short time, Jesus returned to his friends. They had all fallen into restless sleep. Jesus touched Peter's arm.
What? Huh? We're just praying.
Couldn't you men keep watch with me for 1 hour? Watch and pray. Then you won't fall into sin when you are tempted. The spirit is willing, but the body is weak.
We'll stay awake this time.
Got you covered. Again, Jesus threw himself down to pray. His pain was so deep, blood and sweat beaded on his forehead.
My Father, is it possible for this cup to be taken away? But if I must drink it, may what you want be done.
Jesus returned to his friends once more, to find them still sleeping. The agony in his spirit forced Jesus to lay his heart out to God once more. He prayed the desperate words again, begging God to take away what was coming, and at the same time, revealing his complete trust in God's plan.
Let what you want be done, not what I want.
At last, Jesus knew the time had come. He returned to find Peter, James, and John buried deep in sleep. Beyond them, his other followers slept too.
Are you still sleeping and resting?
The disciples struggled through a fog of sleep, blinking and yawning. Below them, torchlight showed an angry mob climbing up the hill. The men were waving swords and clubs, shouting as they came.
Look, the hour has come. The Son of Man is about to be handed over to sinners. Get up, let us go. Here comes the one who is handing me over to them.
Jesus' friends staggered to their feet, and Peter clutched his sword. As the mob marched closer, they could see the man in front of the mob. It was their friend Judas.
Judas? What are you doing?
The mob had been sent by the Jewish religious leaders. Judas had already explained to them that he would greet Jesus with a kiss, so they would know exactly which man to arrest.
Greetings, teacher.
Judas ignored the other disciples and went directly to Jesus, kissing him on the cheek in greeting. Jesus drew back and looked Judas directly in the face.
Friend, do what you came to do.
The mob surged forward as the disciples just stood there, frozen and confused. As men grabbed Jesus, Peter suddenly sprang to life, awkwardly drawing his sword.
Should we use our swords?
Peter didn't wait for an answer, but he struck out wildly. His blade sliced right through the ear of the high priest's servant.
Oh!
Stop this!
Jesus touched the servant's ear. Immediately, he was healed.
Put your sword back in its place. Do you think I can't ask my Father for help? He would send an army of more than 70,000 angels right away. But then how would the scriptures come true? They say it must happen in this way.
Jesus turned back to the mob and the men who held him. They hovered there, uncertain, in the flickering light of their torches.
Am I leading a band of armed men against you? Do you have to come out with swords and clubs to capture me? Every day I sat in the temple courtyard teaching, and you didn't arrest me. But all this has happened so that the words of the prophets would come true.
No one could respond to Jesus. Instead, they arrested him and led him away. And his friends who said they'd be with him through anything ran away. Jesus made the choice that would bring life to everyone, but that would cost him everything.
Hey guys, Brianna here. This week's activity is called Upside Down, and it's really about how Jesus can change everything. For this activity, all you need is 2 index cards, a half sheet of paper, and a marker. Make sure that you're including your siblings and your parents because this activity is a lot more fun when you do that. And parents, if you haven't downloaded the Parent Cue app, please make sure that you do that this week to follow along each week with your children. Remember, the bottom line is to put others first because Jesus always helps us with that. Have fun with this activity, and I will see all of you here next week.